Derrick Henry, man, he's a freaking beast.
That was the Bills' defense. It wasn't just any
Holy
defense.
shnikes.
He runs 22 miles an hour.
He's dude, I can't even. Well, yeah, I can drive 22, but barely. I can eat a pizza at 22 miles an hour.
He runs 22 miles. I mean, he just runs away from people when he's not running you over or stiff arming you to the ground.
Right.
He runs away from people. He's a monster. Now, the way to beat the Titans is simple. You stop the run early, take a lead, and force him to have to throw. Tannehill off play action is a wizard. Tannehill, when he has to throw,
not so wizard.
He's not bad, but he's not elite.
Right.
He's elite, and he's elite like Lamar Jackson's elite.
Now, you mentioned this earlier because you have him on your squad. A lot of people went and they got Peyton Barber because they thought he was going to help him, especially when Jacobs went down. Jacobs came back this week, but still, out of nowhere now, Kenyon Drake played.
And he ran well, and he caught the ball.
So, this could be a deal with the new coach.
I mean, maybe Gruden didn't like him as much because Kenyon Drake had 3 touches the last 2 weeks combined.
Right.
And all of a sudden, he scored 2 touchdowns.
Now, he didn't touch the ball a lot. It was just that he was effective. He had 4. He ran the ball 4 times for 34 yards and a TD. He also caught a touchdown, but he only had 2 passes sent to him, 2 targets and a touchdown.
But I'm just saying they utilized him. You saw him on the field more. You never saw him on the field before that. In the Gruden regime, they didn't necessarily like him that much.
Kenyon tripped and fell by accident on the field.
And there you go.
But he had a very good day. Now, again, if you're looking for running backs, the running backs, you're going to start Henry, you're going to start Taylor. Fournet's been playing very well. He's the guy in Tampa. We know how much you would like to have whatever. Fournette. He's 4-0. He's 4-0. We know how much you want to make sweet love to Joe Mixon.
He had another good game.
Joe
Mixon runs hard.
Yeah.
He has the most yards after contact. That's why I like Joe Mixon. And he can catch the ball. He plays 3 downs.
He's a baller.
He's a baller.
The
Bengals are suddenly a fun team to watch. But anyway, I digress.
I know. Which actually, I have to go to the Jet-Bengal game in a couple of weeks. Now I'm looking forward to it.
What a Halloween treat for you.
Yay.
The Bengals beat the Jets by 3 touchdowns.
I am already frightened.
Antonio Gibson's banged up. May not play this week.
Right.
J.D. McKissick, guy that we talked about last week, he's going to start. They have a kid named Jared Patterson who probably will get to play a little bit. I don't know if he's going to be the workhorse. I probably will be McKissick just because Washington will probably be behind.
Yeah, he's not going to be the cowbell. There's
only one cowbell.
There's only one cowbell. Let's see somebody else. Kareem Hunt's out. He got to put on.
We talked about the Ernest already.
Yep. Let's see who else.
See, the reason why I like McKissick so much is because they're playing the Packers and they're probably going to have to throw to win.
Yeah, here's somebody that maybe you want to look at. Again, these are emergencies. You're going to start your stars no matter what. DJ Dallas. Who the hell is he? Well, he's like the 9th string guy on the Seahawks, and Alex Collins got hurt. He was playing for Carson, so he actually had 10 points last week.
He wasn't bad, and now they're saying I think Rashad Penny might be back. Not 100% sure, but I think so. And if he could also be a guy you look to pick up.
On a similar note, Eli Penny, he's available, but you don't want him. The Penny brothers.
Yeah, Rashad Penny is an option to start, if Collins isn't there.
Yeah.
I mean, Chris Carson could play. I mean, obviously, it's these things get confusing out here a little bit with the running back situation, but you just got to constantly monitor. Jerick McKinnon, another guy to pick up, because once again, the Chiefs playing the Titans and stuff to that effect, he's going to get the ball somewhat, and Darrell Williams will get most of the time, but McKinnon could become a player as well. They targeted him a few times last week. He didn't have a big day. I mean, apparently Mahomes doesn't like completing to McKinnon.
No, why?
And Mahomes' mom to come out and complain that deflected ball shouldn't count as interceptions against her son. Listen, your son's been like the golden child for 3 freaking years.
Yeah.
Mom, he's thrown a few picks. What? His second one, he could blame no one but himself. First one, went off of Hill's hands. Second one, I don't know what the hell he was thinking.
Mom, he's getting $45 million a year. Just don't worry. He's a big boy.
He screwed up. He fucked up.
That's right.
What are you gonna do? Blew it. You blew it.
I love that line. So there it is. Those are some of the guys that you kind of throw in. If you need help. But we never talk about the kickers because who cares about the kickers? But defenses. There's not really a lot. I mean, maybe you pick up Cincinnati if you want Cincinnati.
Well, Cincinnati's probably taken, though, you would think.
I'm looking at
in our league, it's open, right?
Yeah.
It's weird. You would think that in most leagues they'd be taken.
Yeah, they're on waivers. So I've got Big D's got that bye this week. So I got to get another defense again this week. So
yeah, I have 2 on the roster. The Bills, who showed me a lot last week. That was fun. And, and I have the 49ers.
Because of the incredible amount of accuracy and what a superstar Sam Darnold is, I am actually considering picking up the Giant defense for this week.
Well, they showed a lot last week.
They showed a lot. No, but you know what? It seems like they're almost guaranteed like 2 picks, 3 picks maybe. Who's going to,
you're right.
You know, is Chubby going to run that much, you know? Because he's playing again. There's no, you don't have McCaffrey.
A defense to look at also, and I know you're going to laugh at me because I'm a homer, but the Jet D against the Pats put everything on the line last week. Played a better game than anyone thought they could.
Right.
Found a way to lose it. Not on purpose. I mean, they played really hard. Right. You know, found a way to lose it. Are they going to be a little flat this week? Do you really believe in Mac Jones as a thrower? I don't. I know they're bragging about that pass, had a lot of courage. He threw a ball up that should have been picked off.
Right.
The 2 guys missed each other, let the guy run 84 yards. I don't know what the bragging was about, but, come on.
Right.
Enough about that.
So as far as what you're going to do and stuff
Vegas
like
might be a team you look at a little bit against Philly because Philly's offense, they put up, I mean, your boy Hurts puts up numbers. He does.
At the end
but
of
he
the
also,
day.
he usually commits a turnover or 2, and he does get sacked a few times. So it's going to be interesting to see.
Again, you're just looking to make sure you don't put up a big fat goose egg. That's the whole idea.
Or a -1 like I did.
Congratulations on that.
I was very proud of myself. It was pretty exciting for me.
So those are some of the guys to look at and stuff like that coming up. Now, as far as the gamblers out there,
absolutely.
Let me take a peek.
I don't know any of those guys.
No, I've never met one myself.
Okay, a couple spreads jump out at you early. And again, we're doing this on Tuesday this week, so it's early and things are going to move around.
And one of the things, everybody was sitting there saying, wow, how come the Cowboys aren't favored by more? That was a close game.
They barely covered. And it took a throw in overtime because they could have settled for the 3. It took a touchdown pass. Otherwise, they would not have covered. The Chiefs are a 4.5-point favorite at Tennessee. Tennessee just beat Buffalo. And I get the reasoning of Tennessee just played a physical Monday night game, short week against a Chief offense, which is pretty explosive.
Right.
Probably a little bit more of a physical game. They might be a little tired and stuff like that. But how can a 3-3 team, that their 3 wins, I mean, they beat Cleveland, who's 500, beat the Washington football team and the Eagles. Those are their wins.
Yeah,
and
not impressive.
I mean, listen, their only bad loss was Buffalo. I mean, they should have beat the Ravens. They fumbled at the end.
Right.
And they should have beat the Chargers, do an interception at the end. So, I mean, it wasn't like they couldn't be 5-1. But how are they a road favorite by over a field goal against a team that just beat the team that beat them by 18?
Was it a real interception? Did somebody tip that? Or
he just threw it up for grabs.
Oh, okay.
He just threw a bit of bad pass. I mean, so I thought that spread was odd when I saw it.
Gotcha.
The Patriots is a 7-point favorite over anybody. I don't think their offense is good enough. That one freaks me out a little bit too. But there's about 4 or 5 spreads that you look at and you're like, wow, these are double-digit spreads. Cardinals are 17 against Houston. You expect them to cover. It's just weird to lay 17. The Bears aren't awful, and they're a 13-point dog to the Bucks. Mm-hmm. So you say to yourself, wow. And then the Rams, which I thought would be the biggest spread, but it's the Cardinals, 14.5 over the Lions. They don't think Jared Goff's is good.
I'll tell you, this game is going to be a good one. I think Cincinnati and Baltimore. I know you're looking at wacky spreads, and by the way,
and we're going to tell you our picks anyway.
Yeah,
so.
Los Angeles against Detroit.
They say
Stafford's going home. Oh, actually, Stafford's having his team come by. Goff is going home. They haven't won a game yet, but
Coach called out Goff this week.
Did they?
Dan Campbell called him out, saying Goff's got to play better. Not getting benched, but has to play better.
Yeah, well, what's your choice? What's your backup there? So, but this team's not talented. They don't have the skill guys. Just are not there.
No, and then you look at one last one. Saints are a 5-point road favorite in Seattle. When was the last time you thought Seattle would be a 5-point on a Monday night with that 12th man being a home dog by over a field goal against a mediocre Saint team?
How is the Rats rolling over in his grave with this game? How happy could ESPN be with the 3-2 New Orleans against 2-4 Seattle with Geno Smith at the helm?
Well, we're going to have the Broncos Browns on Thursday, which seemed like a good game a couple of weeks ago. But now you got Baker banged up, no running backs for Cleveland.
Yeah.
You got Denver's lost 3 in a row after they crushed the Jets, then they realized that was probably the best game they'll ever play.
Right.
So that's it.
Who's Teddy Bridgewater? Huh? What?
Sunday night is the Colts and the 49ers, two teams that are not quite the 500 yet.
Right.
If the 49ers win, they'll get there. But the Colts haven't been great. But this will be the second primetime game for them in 3 weeks, as they played the Ravens 2 weeks ago and blew that game.
Right.
So that'll be interesting to see. And then you have the Saints-Seahawks game, which, again, because they wanted that game without Russell Wilson.
But 12.5 Tampa over Chicago.
The funny thing is that Chicago's D is pretty good. It's not great, but it's really good. And you feel like they could play that 6 in a box, 7 in a box, and really stop the run a little bit. It's just going to be Mike Evans has been crying all week, a week and a half, basically saying, "Throw me the ball, Tom."
What about me?
And he's going to get the ball 12 times this week for 140 yards and 2 scores.
So if you've got Brown, I'd probably sit him this week because he'll get 3 targets.
And yet you can't. But you should, but you can't. But when we said that about Gronk, they threw it to him 2 weeks in a row, and then he got hurt.
Yeah, now he's hurt. So.
If you're going to ask me the games I really like, I do
Let's
think.
go into it. We discussed some of these big spreads. Green Bay, 9.5 over DC. I think that's like a little bit outrageous because Green Bay has not been playing spectacular where you'd expect them to.
They covered against Chicago on the road, but they didn't blow them out.
They didn't blow them out.
Aaron Rodgers came out with the "I own you, I've owned you my whole career."
Yeah.
That was kind of fun with a little State Farm little thing.
Right, and and Heineken, he's putting up some decent numbers.
Until last week. And their only touchdown was like a blown coverage where the linebacker chose not to cover.
But he's been playing decent.
Ricky Seals-Jones.
But he's been playing decent.
He can throw the ball.
Right, and we had said that last week as well. If you
so you like the Washington football team?
If I'm going to look at this right now, if we're going to sit there and say, okay, let's make our picks. Let's make our horrible picks. By the way, I picked Jacksonville last week.
I did too. So stop bragging. We both said they'd win. I even said I don't want the points. I'll take the outright win. You said you thought they would get their first win. We were both right on that one.
You know what?
I also thought Pittsburgh would cover, so there you go.
There you go. But anyway, if we're going to talk picks now, I like Washington in this. But 9.5 is the spread, so they're plus 9.5.
I would lean toward Green Bay in that game.
Really?
Yeah, I would.
Green Bay has just not been the juggernaut, astounding team that you thought they would be. Obviously, against this defense, which the secondary sucks. It's just horrendous and stuff. Hopefully Devontae Adams is a big day. I hope that.
Landon Collins just showing how good at coverage safety he is.
Yeah.
He can't cover me.
So there's opportunity for this to be a blowout. But I just have this feeling Washington's going to hang in there.
I would take Green Bay in that one, but I'm not touching it. I do like the Lions to cover against the Rams. I think that the Lions will come in a little bit fired up.
You think so?
They're not going to win. But I think maybe backdoor cover, 38-28.
Do you think based
35-24.
Goff getting called out?
I think Goff getting called out. Now, again, you got to remember, he's got nobody to throw to right now.
And you know what? He wasn't a great quarterback. You can say what you want.
Oh, he sucked.
McVay totally made the offense to his strong points.
Funniest thing about McVay, he was so innovative, and then when he got to the Super Bowl, did absolutely nothing.
Yeah, but
he was like in over his head. When he saw Belichick, he just said, "We did the best we could."
I'm sorry, kid. I bow to you,
sir. Here you go.
Yeah, but
here's the playbook.
He took Goff's strengths, and there aren't many, but he built the offense around that, and he had success. Now he's back. He's in Detroit with nobody to help. At least in L.A. he had Kupp, he had Woods.
Yeah. Now he's got St. Brown, who I like. Who I'm starting this week out of necessity because I have 2 guys on buys.
Anytime you can have a Saint on your team, it's
I have St. Brown, and he's got Khalif Raymond. Those are his guys.
Yeah.
No, not a household name. He's gonna have to throw a lot of screen passes to DeAndre Swift and throw it to and throw it to Hawkinson a lot. I mean that's really what you're looking at. So it's not a dynamic. Offensive team. I don't think they're going to be able to shut down the Rams, but I do think that Goff will put up enough points as the Rams take them a little lightly after bombing the Giants.
Is that a pick that you're definitely going with?
I am going with
That's a strong pick.
I'm getting 14.5. I'm going to take the Lions with the backdoor cover. Okay. Not a win. Interesting spread to me. Well, something weird, right? We talked about it a little bit last week. Dolphins.
Right.
They go to London. They make them play the next week. Well, usually you get the bye automatically.
And to be fair, they really don't play to begin with.
No, exactly. Home underdog
against a team that had the week off. That was in London the week before.
Had the week off. Not a great team, the Falcons.
No.
But they look good against the Jets, which says basically nothing. But they are now a road favorite. There are some weird road favorites. Falcons laying 2.5 in Miami.